Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Daze and welcome to this Raw review and opinions video. I managed to get the feedback request up earlier this week and we've had over 80 responses, which is bonkers. So there's not really a reason to wait when we've got more responses than we're going to be able to get through. So 20 minutes on the clock starts now. We're going to talk about the match scores first, then we're going to get to your comments. So New Day against AOP. I think this benefited from the Wyatt 6 after because it got a great score, great 56%, which it's always quite noteworthy when we get into that great range. So yeah, that did well. This was a big step down though. Damage control against Liv and Raquel. This was good 93%. I think it was Raquel, to be honest, just seemed to have a little bit of ring rust, as LSW said. I think that she will get there. She's a great talent, but it did just seem a little bit slow, a little bit plodding in places. Just, it didn't flow. It just didn't have that kind of timing. And that reflected in the score. Good 93%. LWO against American Maids. You guys really enjoyed this one. Great 71%. But then we've got Ray. We got Dragon Lee. You know, there's lots to enjoy there. Julius and Brutus, they're great tag team, the Creed brothers. Main event actually didn't get the disastrous score I thought it was going to get. Great 58%. Lots of matches tonight getting that great rating. 4 matches, 3 of them in the great range. I don't know if they all got there though because of the in-ring. Obviously 2 of those had big outside interference. Main event, I think, benefited from that Bron Jacob face-to-face, which was so good. I don't mind new champ. I'm expecting to read that a lot of you do. I like Jey. I like Jey a lot. I think he's got a bright future as a solo star. I think he's a made man as well. I think he's super over. So to me, it doesn't really matter if he loses the IC title. I think he'll go and do Bloodline, and then really next year, I think he can go back to being a single star, and there may be a World Heavyweight Championship in his future. So yeah, lots for us to get our teeth into. Wyatt 6 I thought looked pretty good. I do like to give balanced, fair kind of feedback, right? Fair opinions. I think Nikki looks amazing. I think for me, she is the breakout star of the group. I think Howdy looks good. I do prefer the dreads, but these kind of in-between dreads, it's not the free-flowing hair, but it's not the dreads either. It's kind of somewhere in the middle. I think that works for him. It's fine. It's not my favorite look. I prefer the heavy dreads, but it's better than I think when he was wrestling his singles match. That seemed to be a little bit too far away, from the dreads. This is like a happy medium. I think it looks fine. I thought it was interesting he went after The Miz. I like the fact that he had his own moment to shine. He didn't just arrive with the other 4. So all of that was really good. Rowan looks like a monster. I mean, he's big. He's chucking people around. I think his presentation has been very good. I do worry a bit about Dexter and Gacy. They just seem to be there for me. Those 2 aren't shining quite as bright. But there was an excellent point made in the chat that when the bell goes, they may be the best 2. Like, Rowan, never the greatest in ring, no offense. But, I think he's great in a brawl. But actually, if you want someone to have a good wrestling match, Dexter, Gacy, that's where they might shine. So I thought this was short, sweet, did what it needed to do. And yeah, I'm up for it. I'm on board. So far, so good. But if I was to give some constructive criticism, some fair criticism, I don't think that Dexter and Gacy are shining as bright as the others at the moment. But as we said, in a match, that could be very different. So I thought the Rhea segment was pretty fun as well. Seth and Bronson was pretty fun. Like, there was quite a bit on this show that I enjoyed. I don't think this was a bad show by any means. I don't think it was a mind-blowing show. But, and I like Lillian. Lillian being back. I know she botched. But as I said during the live watch-along, she's come out of nowhere. You know, she did it for a long time, then was away for a long time, to now pick up the microphone and just do it again. Very difficult. So I can forgive a couple of little slip-ups. She'll get back in the swing of it. She'll make the necessary adjustments, and she'll be absolutely fine. You know what you're going to get with Lillian. She's a great talent, very professional, great voice. Yeah, no complaints. Right, let's see what you lot think. So, Samito said, way better than last week, Daze. This week had about 4 or 5 moments that genuinely made me excited. Wyatt 6, Seth and Bronson, starting off the show with some energy. Ripley, Jacob, Bron face-off. All of that pretty much got me hyped. 8 out of 10. The only thing missing was Sammy. I'm guessing that's Sammy. So, Samito, shout out to you. Bobby Hill said, creative team slacking as usual. Brendan acknowledging Roman Reigns. Pete says, total chaos. Kiki says 5 out of 5. Sam said it was amazing. Wyatt 6 was cool. And Solo Sikoa showed up and costed Jey. Let's go. WWE Ethan said effing livid. Triple H, why give Jey the IC title so he can hold it for less than a month? It's embarrassing. I can't be bothered. I've just smashed my TV remote because of this. Wyatt 6 being back were cool, but after that main event, 4 out of 10. Thanks, Daze. Thanks, WWE Ethan. I hope you get a new remote soon. Big Blessing said, I was fantastic. I think Papa H cooked in this 2 hours this week. First, Seth and Bronson going all night. We had the Wyatts going after the Final Testament and the Miz. Raw was really, really good. Well done, Triple H. Nah, said Netflix can't come soon enough, to be honest. The 2 hour thing is not working. It's ironic, though, because 2 years ago, we would have died for only 2 hours. Notorious TLJ said it was good until Jey lost the title. I understand why Triple H booked the match that way, but it was just terrible timing. Cliff gives it 9 out of 10. Jim says it was electric. Night Legacy said 8.9. I saw Jacob in the crowd, so that ruined the surprise. The brawls were amazing. Fantastic kickoff. Funny moments with Carlito and Adam Pearce and ring announcer botches. Rhea story is getting boring. Amazing Wyatt 6 stuff. Scarlett and Ella in action. Tony said, boo, not happy with that end, although I understand where they're going, but still, come on. The Wyatts weren't on long enough, in my opinion, but the Raw kept me interested. 7.5. Hashtag Yeet Nation. Jack said, good episode in my opinion. Wyatts, Ray, and Lee cooked as a team. Still too many ad breaks. Brady said, seeing the Wyatt 6 tonight was amazing. Can't wait until Alexa Bliss comes back. Ian said, having the Wyatt 6 in person is what we need. Nikki looks amazing. So pleased. She's getting the praise she deserves. Odin's Child said Raw was 8.5. Jey losing the title was a bunch of beep. Wyatt 6, obviously a highlight for me. I don't mind Bloodline, as long as Bloodline 2.0 get the win. OG Bloodline was flaring out fast for me. Ooh, interesting. I think OG Bloodline get the win, but I could understand Bloodline 2.0 getting the win. I could understand it so that it sets them up nicely for next year. But I don't know when we ever get Bloodline back together again. That's the only thing. OG Bloodline, I think, could come back together for like one more time. And are we going to do that to have them lose? So I would think OG Bloodline would be odds-on favourite to win. And then the new Bloodline, Bloodline 2.0, they get their revenge somehow afterwards. That's my guess. So interesting what you said there. Landon said, why have the most over guy in the company lose like that? Triple H better have a plan for this. Survivor Series, I think. Jimmy said, decent show. Wyatt 6 segment was good. Seth Bronson feud is great. Ending was kind of predictable. 7 out of 10. Gio the Theo said, good episodes. Every victory was the best choice, but I don't like how Liv and Raquel got beat up by Rhea 2-on-1 with a newly Raquel, and they still have her beat up. I hate it. That's fair. Also, many think Roman and Jimmy should have shown up tonight, but Roman told Jimmy on Friday that Jey doesn't want to help them, so why would Roman and Jimmy go out of their way to help Jey? Well, the only thing I would say is I don't think it was too much of a surprise to see Solo and Jacob showing up. If I'm Roman and Jimmy, realistically, I have to look at this situation and think there is a chance they're going to show up at Raw. Well, if they're going to show up at Raw, I'm going to show up at Raw. And do you know what? I ain't doing it for Jey. I'm doing it so that the new Bloodline don't get a moral victory, right? I'll protect Jey even if I don't get Jey to join me, right? Because I don't want Solo costing Jey. You know, Roman said, look, I'm proud of you. We're all proud of you. So Roman doesn't have any bad feelings towards Jey, or like no kind of major negative feelings. And I could see an argument for him turning up. And not doing it so much for Jey, but doing it so that Jacob, Tama, Tongaloa, Solo, you know, they don't get what they want. And what they wanted was to cost Jey. So realistically, I think they could have thought it through and they could have had Roman and Jimmy there. But everything you said is correct. It's just, could we have gone that extra step and kind of, you know, played chess when others were playing checkers, you know? Jay Villa said, I guess Jacob wasn't feeling Usi, and he cost that Us the IC belt. I hate this for Jey, but he's a victim of the Bloodline story. It's a corroborative effort. Ah, how dare you. But I really hope they give Jey a proper run with the belt soon. He deserves it. 6.5. Corroborative. Just doesn't sound right when I say it. I've heard the words, but I just don't think it's a word I've ever used. So whenever I say it, it just does not sound right to me. Corroborative. Just doesn't sound right. Yeah, but apparently it is. Princess Kutab Itch, or Princess for short, or Kutab Itch for short, said, I enjoyed it top to bottom. 8 out of 10. Not a huge fan of Lash Legend and What's-Her-Face. I love What's-Her-Face. What's-Her-Face with the lollipop. But whatever. Happy as hell about Bron getting his IC title back. And Jey is free to join OG Bloodline. Always thrilled when the 6 show up. Loved Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee advancing for the #1 contenders. Sam said, very lackluster ending. Ref was distracted too easily and for too long, so didn't look believable. Storm said 7.4 out of 10. Wyatt 6 segment was cool. I hope Jey would have held the title longer. Really enjoyed the Seth and the Bronson stuff. Missy said, I can't be mad. Jey lost, but I do question why they made new merch as IC champ if they knew that he would lose to rejoin OG Bloodline, possibly with Sammy, but it is what it is. I am just really excited about Wyatt 6 feud with the Final Testament, a match I wanted from day one. Well, do you know what, Missy? I think plans changed because do you remember when they turned Bron face and he shook the hand of Jey? Had nothing else have happened after that point, then I would agree maybe he didn't turn face. But the fact that later in the show he confronted Gunther, right, suggested to me that they were ready to move Bron on from the Intercontinental title and they were ready to potentially set up a match with Gunther, right? Then fast forward like a week later, and Bron Breakker is attacking Jey. And he has not turned face. And all of a sudden, that confrontation with Gunther doesn't mean anything. I really get the vibe they changed their minds. I really get the vibe that actually they decided that we were going to go back to Bron being heel and he was going to get the Intercontinental title. So as of a couple of weeks ago, I really don't know if this was the plan, if this is how it was going to go. There's just something in there that makes me think plans changed. And because it was really weird. Him coming down, shaking his hand, showing respect. He didn't need to do that. And then him confronting Gunther, and nothing has come of it. He didn't need to do that either. It's very confusing. I've got to think plans changed. So that might be why they made IC merch, because the plan was it was actually going to run a bit longer than it did. Alex said it was an alright Raw. I don't like Rhea Ripley's current booking every single week on Raw because it's ruining the Liv Rhea feud. Jey now has a reason to get involved with the Bloodline story. Love Wyatt 6.5. Al Patata said, I'm suing Carlito for saying Chinese. We spoke about that in Unseen. Yeah, very interesting that. Again, doing the Bron is champion, but Jey should stay champion. Can't we have a champion that simply was better and deserved it? The belt is losing prestige. Dragon Lee was great. Cross interrupted with the lights out feels unreal. Cross being interrupted with the lights out feels unreal. Don't know quite what you mean by that last bit. But I think an interesting point about how the title changed hands and, you know, has the IC title lost a little bit of prestige because we don't know that it's on the right person. Jey, Bron, one-on-one, who wins? I think the truth is that, you know, it could be 6 times out of 10 it's Jey, 4 times out of 10 it's Bron, maybe it's 5-5. It's hard to say. I think Bron's a perfectly acceptable champion, but he has won it thanks to the Bloodline, no denying that. Wrestling's biggest fan said, excellent, 9 out of 10, completely flew by, and I wanted another hour. Arrows 123 said, I enjoyed the Wyatt segment. I'm not happy that they screwed Jey. I get the whole Bloodline versus OG Bloodline. I'm excited for that match. They could have went the other way than screwing Jey over. We waited a long time just to have it taken away. I like Raw, just not the end of it. Aaron, hello. I thought it was good. Reed and Rollins brawling was very fun. Wyatt 6 are really over. Just hoping for some more promos from them. Same. Bron winning sets up Jey going back to Bloodline. I'm not excited for Crown Jewel, but I am excited for Survivor Series. Nishi said, I love this episode. The ending showed that Jey needs Roman and Jimmy as much as they need him. All of the matches and segments were great. Seth Rollins versus Bronson is gonna be great. 10 out of 10. Jose said, Jey losing the IC just sets up the reunion for Bloodline. Nita Nitro said fine at best. Started hot, but fell off a cliff. Great to see the Wyatts, and I really hope it leads to great promo battles with Cross and Bo. Judgment Day is over. It's so dull. EO is an absolute star. Give her a huge push again. I've not been enjoying Raw these past few weeks. Mackenzie said it was a great show. Loved the back and forth with Seth and Bronson. Matthew said good show. Lillian did stumble a bit, but she did very well. Jay said, I like Lillian, but I'll miss Samantha. I really enjoyed the show. My only letdown was Jey losing his belt, but I understand it is a part of a larger storyline. I'm confident he'll hold gold again. 8 out of 10. Jazza said, I just love it when stories happen organically. Jey now back into the picture, but hopefully we see more brand new bloods. Hashtag WWE Survivor Series. Mitchell said, honestly, really enjoyed it. Ending felt a bit too much like an episode of SmackDown. I know they got to bring Jey back into the Bloodline story. Give me Bron versus Jacob, please. Yeah, it was sick, wasn't it? I'm going to go 775. I don't know if it edges into the prestigious 8 club, but it's close. I'm probably a little bit lower than that, to be honest. I did feel a lull with Damage Control against Liv Raquel. LWO American Made didn't quite grab me the same way it seemed to grab the community. I don't mind the Jey title switch, though. To be honest, that's not a big problem for me. Lillian being there was amazing. I mean, that's a real blast from the past. Seth Bronson was really good. I like the Rhea stuff. I mean, I do think it's a bit overdone, but she looked like such a star, just putting, like, Liv in that cloverleaf, getting Dominic in the cloverleaf, like, some real good stuff in there. So, yeah, for me, it was a solid show. I think it was an enjoyable watch. I think there is a lull in there. I think the Wyatt 6 stuff was really good, so I'm probably around a 7, to be honest. I'm probably not as giddy as some people. Going into, I'm not personally near that prestigious 8 club, but yeah, I'm not a million miles off Mitchell. I always find my score is not too far away from Mitchell, to be honest. It's not like Mitchell will ever give a 5 and I'm a 10, you know. So I'm normally like, if I'm a 7, Mitchell's a 7.75. So we're kind of, I can see you, Mitchell. I can see you. You're not that far away. Heather said it was ball poop. So, Heather, not a fan. Wrestling fan since day one said Raw was good. 735. Can't wait for my birthday and your stream on Friday. And Samantha Irvin, heartbreak. Great stream days. Have a good night, my friends. I'm going to go to bed with a broken heart. And this is a video of Wrestling fan since day one. Just having a shower. So, there we go. Very emotional. Stay strong, my friend. Stay strong. Right, should we do these ones? Because I think then we will be at the end of the road. 80 odd responses is incredible. A big thank you to everyone that left some feedback this week. I always like to do about 20 minutes. We've already gone over that, but I did do a little chat at the start, sharing the scores and my own thoughts. Livdom fan art said rushed title reign. Raymond said, I honestly thought Raw was 10 out of 10. I'm really enjoying the 2 hours of Raw, and I did like the Wyatt 6 attack in Final Testament. I'll miss Samantha on Raw, but having Lillian back as a full-time announcer is incredible, and Jey losing his title was confusing. Yeah, I need to revisit. I found myself during Unseen saying, oh, I'm not sure if she is back permanent. I think she is. But something in my head went, have you actually read that? I know she's here and she's back, but have I actually read she's back permanently? Like she is the replacement, long-term or is it one of those kind of weird, you know, that kind of where you think something's happened and it hasn't actually, you know? I don't know. I think she is back permanently. It's one of those that I really want to go and just double, triple check though, you know? Mandela effect, that's what I was thinking. Ron said, one of the best Raws. Wyatt 6 segment was good. Liv Raquel was funny. Jey, Bron, good, but predictable. JDS said, Seth and Bronson absolutely loved their scenes. Wyatt 6 coming back, and yes, it's a shame that Jey lost his title, but at least he had his moment. But it's family business now, and the story always continues, as they say. 6.5 out of 10. Also seems like too many commercials, but it was okay. The thing with the commercials is I think you will likely find that we've probably had the same amount as SmackDown. It's just still feeling weird because it's Raw. I mean, it just feels weird because it's Raw, and like it finishing early is just weird. So it's just, yeah, I think it's that. I don't think we're getting extra commercials compared to SmackDown. It just still feels weird, it being Raw. I'm sure I looked, and like the very first week, it had been about the same. I think it was just like a touch, like 5 minutes down on SmackDown, but there really wasn't much difference between like how much content we got for SmackDown minus commercials compared to what we got with Raw. And Spurs Gamer said, solid episode. Lillian back. She's going to need a couple of weeks to get going. Yes. And I love the fact that people seem to be willing to give her that time. That's really good. Love Raquel's part. Solid tag matches and very good storytelling. With also the craziness of the Wyatt Six. Seth Rollins Bronson Reed was awesome. Perfect main event. But it would have been good with one more backstage segment. 9 out of 10. Okay, so let's just have a look, shall we, over at the scores. I wonder if I refresh this. It says we've had 42 votes. We've actually had 141 votes. 141 votes, so, you know, still got a long way to go. We normally get, what did last week get? Knocking on the door of nearly 600. Last week was good, 57%. This week, it looks like great is actually going to get it, 62%. So it seemed like people did enjoy this show. I don't think it was anything earth-shattering, right? I mean, it's done better than recent weeks. But, you know, we're not talking all time or anything like that. But there we go. That is what people thought of this week's Raw. So really appreciate the support. We will be back with NXT later tomorrow, whenever you're watching this. Obviously, we always start an hour before. I don't know what the opinion video will be after. It might be something to do with Lillian or Samantha or the Wyatt Six. We'll have to wait and see. But thank you for your feedback on this Raw opinions video. Hope you enjoyed it, and hopefully I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.